All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Brakathum, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, the well, and the salute and the Shalom to all the Akim that are out there that pushing this truth in all sincerity and in truth. This is the Akim from Dallas, the live stream on the Elder Yashawamba's channel. Remnant Say 144. Subscribe and be edified. The brother that's sitting next to Elder Yashawamba, I forgot the brother's name. Salakia, bro, I forgot your name, man. But he mentioned, right, not to be engulfed in this world, right? Do not be engulfed into this world. Now, engulf means of a natural force sweep over something so as to surround or completely cover, says, or cover it completely, overwhelm, overtake, envelope, submerge, right? Now, Lot's wife, she was fully submerged into what they had in the land of Sodom. She was completely submerged in it. It overtook her, right? To where she looked back, right? And she received what? The judgment of an unbelieving soul, right? Hold on. I know that's it. Hold on. Unbelieving soul, KJV. All right. This is Wisdom of Solomon 10. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 10 and verse 7. All right. It says, of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is the testimony, and plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and the standing pillar of salt is a monument of an unbelieving soul. Right? Now, she received the judgment of an unbelieving soul because she looked back. Okay? She couldn't think beyond Sodom. She couldn't think beyond I'll say that she couldn't see beyond the land of Sodom, man. Jake, man, we have nothing to look back to. We have to continue to push forward, man. Let me get this. This is Hebrews chapter 11, verse 13. One of my favorite scriptures. It says, I'll start up at 1 and I'll jump down. It says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It says in the NLT, faith is the confidence that what we hope for will actually happen. It gives us assurance about things we cannot see. Right? It says, by faith Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yahweh Shema Shai. But without faith, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to Yahweh Shema Shai must believe that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Right? So Jake man, seeking Yahweh Shema Shai, you must have faith. You must. Because you will be put through, put through hell, man. You will catch hell, man. But that is what? A part of what? The condition of the battle. See? Verse 13, it says, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off. And were persuaded of them and embraced them and confessed that there were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. It says in the NLT, all these people died still believing what Yahweh Shema Shai had promised them. They did not receive what was promised, but they saw it all from a distance and welcomed it. They agreed that they were foreigners and nomads on the earth. See? So let's say what? Ain't that? Yeah. 1 Corinthians 7. 1 Corinthians 7 and 29. It says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short, and it remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Right? Why? Because you won't be able to fully spend time with your woman, man. You won't be able to fully spend time with her. Because what, man? You're busy. All right, man? You're busy, what? Studying, doing lessons, going to camp. See? It says, and they that weep as though they wept not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possess not. Because you, man, it says what? It says, we brought nothing into this world, and we cannot take nothing out. See, because Jake, man, your home, your car, your job, all of that is going to be destroyed, man. It's all going to be destroyed. It says, and they that use this world is not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. So the fashion of this world is going to pass away, man. It says this, those who use the things of this world should not become attached to them, for this world, as we know it, will soon pass away. All right, Jake, man. So even if you have a woman, man, you shouldn't become attached. All right, you shouldn't become I know it's a word. Attached meaning. All right, man. Now you can Now you care about your woman. I get it. Cool. But Jake, what if she leave you? Then what? What you gonna do? You gonna cry? Or you gonna all right, man, you gonna cry or will you just or will you just keep on moving? Right? Jake, what if your woman takes the seat here? What you gonna do? You gonna cry? You gonna join her? What you gonna do? Right? Because when Lot, his wife, and his two daughters were were running from Sodom before the destruction, Lot's wife looked back. Well, what did Lot do? Lot and his daughters, all right, Lot and his two daughters, they kept running. See? Let me get that. Yeah. Genesis, is it 19? I need Genesis 19. All right. It says, and there came, this is Genesis 19 and 1. It says, and there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them and bowed himself with his face toward the ground, right? Now, here it is. It says, and the men said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides son-in-law or thy son? It kind of says, and thy sons and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because of the cry of them is waxing great before Yahweh Shema Shah, and Yahweh Shema Shah has sent us to destroy it. And Lot went out and spake unto his son-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his son-in-laws, right? Unto his sons-in-law. It says, so Lot rushed out to tell his daughter's fiancés, Quick, get you out of the city. Yahweh Shema Shah is about to destroy it. But the young men thought he was joking. Right? So the son-in-laws was like, What are you talking about? See? It says, when the morning arose, then the angels hasted Lot, Arise, and take thy wife and thy two daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. While he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and on the hand of his two daughters, Yahweh Bashim Shah being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth and set him without the city. See, it says here, and it came to pass, verse 17, and it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, he said, Escape for thy life, look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain, escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed, right? Right? Now, let's see. I'm going to read the whole thing. Here it is. It says, verse 25, and he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities, that which grew and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back behind him, from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt, right? It says, but Lot's wife looked back as she was following behind him, and she turned into a pillar of salt, right? So, Jake, man, what if your woman leave you? Jake, Jake, man, what if your wife leaves you, man? What you gonna do? You gonna keep running like Lot did? See? Because it says what? Philippians 3. It says, Philippians 3 and 12, it says, not as though I had already attained, either were already perfect, but I follow after. That it says, but I follow after, if that I may apprehend that which is laid up for me, which is laid up. Hold on. That I may apprehend for that which also I am apprehended of a Mashiach Yahushua. It says, but I count not myself to have apprehended, but this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forth to those things which are before. I press toward the mark for the prize of the high calling of Yahweh and Hamashiach Yahushua. Right? So the Apostle Paul said, what? What, man? But this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, man. So when Lot and his two daughters and his wife was running away before the destruction hit, right? Right? And as they got far enough, the destruction came, right? When Lot's wife looked back and turned into a pillar of salt, Lot just kept on running, man. And we said, fuck that. Hey, Hey, I am not going to be like her. And kept going. Forgetting those things which are behind, man. Man, Lot said, fuck all of these possessions and all of that. See? Let's keep on going.
And it's gonna be immaculate. It's gonna be beautiful. But you got to do your part first, man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's some more.
No, that's it.
All
That
right.
make you think about remember Lot's wife.
Yep.
See?
You know,
See?
everybody's
See? Come on, man.
so engulfed here, like,
Yep.
like, you know, you should really be past that. Like, look, like, we still got to do what we got to do.
Right.
You know, I brought Zano's brother in here get ill in the middle of the night or tomorrow. You know, but we know that we still got to go to work tomorrow.
Right.
We still.
Man, and that's why it says, what, man? Use this world, but not abusing it. Meaning we do what we got to do, right? But we know that what? That the destruction of Babylon the Great is still on the way. But we know that we are pilgrims on the earth, man. We ain't home, Jake. We ain't home yet, man. We ain't home yet. So we can't what? So we can't focus on the affairs of this life. We gotta stay focused on the mission. Says what? Endure hardness. Here it is. It says, Thou therefore, this is 2 Timothy 2 and 3. Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Yahushua Mashiach. No man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Jake, Yahweh Shema Shai has chosen us to be soldiers, man. So we can't so we can't get tied up with the affairs of civilian life, man. We have to please Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai.
Still no rent gotta be paid. You know, he not worried about prophecy like that. Like, nigga, pay me my money. You know what I'm saying? So we still have to function here in this captivity. But at the same time, you gotta do it with what? You gotta do it with wisdom, bro. This place is really it's done for. We're just you know how they you know, for the presidential race, we're just really just waiting on the ballot box, bro. We're just waiting for the angels to yep, all right. and then we know what's gonna follow suit after that.
Exactly.
And once the elect that the Lord wants to be wake up and sealed, we out of here.
That's right.
You know, and you can clearly see it's clear.
That's right. Yeah.
It's near. Go ahead.
It's Matthew 13, verse 26 and 27. I'll get a good point. I'll start at verse 24. And in bold letter at the top of verse 24, it says, the return of Mashiach. It says, but in those days after that tribulation.
All right, man. So, all right. All right. So, Jake, man, do not be entangled with the affairs of civilian life, man. Do what you got to do, but stay focused on the mission, though. Hold on. This is Luke 9 and 59 to 62. It says, and he said unto another, Follow me. But he said, Lord, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahweh said unto him, Let the dead bury their dead, but go thou and preach the kingdom of Yahweh. Another also said, Lord, I will follow thee. But let me first go and bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. And Yahweh said unto him, No man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. Now, there's an ancient custom that go with this. Let me see if I could get it real quick. I should be able to find it. I don't see why I wouldn't be able to find it. Oh, come on, man. And after I get this ancient custom, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to close on out. So we must stay focused on the mission, Jake, so we can be found worthy and so we can be found worthy and accepted to receive the crowns of life from our Lord Yahweh Shai, from our big brother Yahweh Shai. We must be found worthy. All right. We must be found worthy, man, to receive the crowns of life. Come on. Come on, man. Okay. I'm almost in the book of Luke. Okay. Luke chapter guiding the plow. Guiding the plow. It says, no man, this is Luke 9:62, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. It says, the eastern plow is of very rude and simple workmanship. See note on 1 Kings 19:19. It is evident from the text that in our Lord's time, the plow usually had but one handle, and many such plows are still seen. One hand guides the plow, while the other hand holds the long gold. Right? See note on Judges 3:31. It says, by which the oxen are spurred on to their work, the plow being light, it is necessary for the plowman to lean forward with all his weight on the handle to keep the share in the ground. Many commentators suggest that by looking back, the laborer would not be able to make straight furrows. This is true, but it is also true that he could not make any furrows at all. And this fact must not be overlooked in considering the figure used by our Lord in the text. See, man? So if you're looking, right? So if you put your hand to the plow and your ass look back, the fuck is wrong with you? You can't do the work then. Because your mind is elsewhere. Okay? See? So now we have a deeper understanding of Luke 9:62, man. You can't put your hand to the plow and look back. What you looking back to? There's nothing here, man. There is nothing here, Jake. We're going to get everything that we've ever desired in the kingdom. All right? So with that, I say shalom. Hold on. 2 Timothy 4:7. It says, I have fought a good fight. I have finished my course. I have kept the faith. Jake, this is what we must do though, man. We must fight the good fight of faith. Right? We must finish our course. We must finish the work. We must finish the mission. And we must keep the faith. Henceforth, there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which Yahushua, the righteous judge, shall give me at that day, and not to me only, but unto all them also that love his appearing. See? So we must fight the good fight of faith. We must finish the work. We must complete the mission and keep the faith. All right? So with that, I say shalom.